I probably need to get to the right screen so I see what's going on. Got it. Hello, welcome to Awesome Arms. All right, whoops, pin this one. There we go. Okay, we got it, we got it. All right, so today we are gonna do a little bit of rotator cuff and then really hit bis and tris at the end. So variety of choice, light weights, heavier weights, and bands. And I want your band anchored, okay? All right, so we are going to start sideline with the lighter weights. So the rotator cuff, no more than 3 pounds. My elbow's getting better, so I'm going to keep it light so we can continue to heal. So elbow in either side, shoulder blade back, and you're slowly going to rotate up and then slowly bring it back down. So going down is faster, or sorry, slower than you're going up. And again, that works on that eccentric control. So think about your setup, think about that bottom rib being lifted, think about the neck is relaxed and long. Should be back in line with the rest of the body. We're going to do these exercises both with the weights and the bands. We don't necessarily have to do too many of them. All right, and then take that arm out long, up to the ceiling. So stay a little bit in front of your body. And again, slower on the way down, just a parallel, pause, and then bring it back up. Again, keep it slightly in front of that body. This way you keep tension on the shoulder muscles, those rotator cuffs. Infra spinatus teres minor, if anybody wants to know. Got a couple more here. Last one. All right, and that arm goes straight down your side. So shoulder is relaxed, arm is long, palm down, just a small lift off your hip, back down. Just an inch or two is all you need. Again, if I say an inch or two, you're going to give me what I want. So keep it small. Focus on the shoulder blade gets to actually stay still. We got a couple more here, and then we're going to roll over onto our back and continue with this arm. So I'm going to flip around so you can see what this arm is going to be doing. Last one here. Go ahead and release. And then over onto your back. So remember which arm is doing the work. It is what we're starting with. So knuckles toward the ceiling, fingers toward the ceiling, elbow in at your side as close as you can go, and keep the shoulder down. You're going to slowly let that arm open out to the side, pause, and then think about underneath the shoulder blade, in between the shoulder blade and the rib, pulls back up. So again, if we keep this really light, you get into these small muscles. If you get heavy, then you're going to get into your lats and your pecs doing the work. So we want just small muscles. You're in between the rib cage and the shoulder blade. And again, where does that elbow need to be so that you can stay open across the collarbone? We got a couple more here. I'm going to give you another one that also isolates the same thing. So I have a toning ball, so I'm going to put that under my elbow. If you have a toning ball, that's about the perfect size. Yoga block also works. A couch pillow also works. And then you're going to bring your hand across your abs. So again, we are focusing on in between the shoulder blade and this rib cage. You're slowly just going to press into the ab just a little bit, just enough to get that area to engage and release. So you stay there. I'm going to sit up. So this one really doesn't have a lot of motion. So you're here and you're just gently pressing. If you need to, stick your fingers in. So here's the shoulder blade. There's the rib cage. It's going in there and press. So you just want to feel that muscle engage. It's not a big clench. A lot of times that subscapularis gets locked down. So something like this, where you're just focusing on getting to engage, is going to really get it to fire like it's supposed to. I know it's a little bit unusual, but again, this is all about getting the whole system to work, right? Again, keep your touch light. You should almost feel like you're doing nothing. And as you figure it out, you may even find you lighten your push even more. So it's really just trying to fire enough to get that subscap to fire. All right, and release. All right, roll over onto the side you just worked, going to the other side. Elbow in, bottom rib is lifted, and then you're slowly going to rotate up and back down. Rotate up, back down. Again, on your way down, it is slower than on your way up. Keep the shoulder blade fixed. Keeping your neck relaxed, and you should be feeling the shoulder rotate in the socket. Again, how high you go depends on a number of factors. One is strength, one is mobility, one is what's your normal shoulder alignment. You're slightly rounded forward, you're not going to have as much rotation. All right, we got a couple more here. Try to get that elbow at 90 degrees, and then take that arm, reach it out. So now the shoulder's at 90 degrees to the torso. Lift it up, again, keep it slightly in front of the body, and then slower on the way down. Lift it up, and then slower on the way down. Lift it up. Slow. Lift it up. Couple more. Again, notice your control, notice your stopping and starting points. There should be a little pause at the end of each. And then that arm comes down your side. Again, bottom rib stays lifted, wrist stays straight, just a small lift off the hip and back down. Off the hip, back down. So again, keep it small, keep your neck relaxed. You might even let the shoulder blade come toward your ear just a little bit. It actually helps ease a little tension. Sometimes we reach too far down. So notice what you're feeling. If it feels tense, bring the shoulder toward the ear. It's going to change it. It's going to make the supraspinatus work a little bit more. Oops, that was a big one. We got two more. 1, 2. And then go ahead and flip around. Oh, sorry. I'm flipping around. You roll onto your back. Again, we are starting with the first one. Elbow straight up toward the ceiling. Light grip. This is lightweight now. So again, less than 3 pounds still. Slowly rotate out. So notice your shoulders and your rib cage. That tells you how far you can go, and then bring it back up. You're feeling compensation, you're feeling extra things move. That's your stopping point. So slowly rotate open, bring it back up. So again, getting that muscle in between the shoulder blade and that rib cage. Just getting it to fire. So you may find that if you do this one in a flipped order with the next exercise, you do better. Okay, this is a nice little stretch, if nothing else. And again, keep the weight light. It's the small muscles enables them to do the work. All right, so toning ball underneath your elbow, hand on your ab. Again, that awareness of in between your shoulder blade and your rib cage. Gentle press down, just enough to feel that fire. So we are always working on body awareness. So this one fires much more rapidly than the other one, so I don't have to push nearly as hard. I was not pushing hard on the other side. So again, I'm going to sit up. You stay there. So your elbow is supported, so it's in line. So you almost have that forearm that's parallel to the ground as you press in. So if you're in a car, you can prop that elbow on the armrest and do this in stop. Do it while you're driving. And again, focus on the posture here. Subscap tends to be tight, doesn't mean it's strong. If it's tight, it may not get good blood flow. So this is helping to do all of that. Couple more. And last one, and release. All right, grab your band. Check in, see how the shoulder feels. Okay, so again, keep the band relatively light. So this one is my 15 pound. I have a 10 pound that's lighter. So it's a little bit more, and that's fine. That's why we're doing it second. All right, so elbow in at your side, same motion we had before. You're gonna rotate toward the ceiling. If we were sideline, now we're just rotating to the sidewall. So keep that elbow in. The torso's upright. If you want more of a balance challenge, you can pick one foot up Makes those obliques kick in a little bit more. You feel your neck start to grip with that. Bring that foot back down. We got 2 more. Wrist is staying straight, and then shake it out. And then that arm comes straight out. And again, now we're just coming probably to in front of the shoulder and release. So we have a slightly different range of motion. So ideally, the band and your torso are perpendicular to each other. So if I reposition myself, I get a little more range outward. So it depends. It doesn't have to be all the way out here, because again, we can compensate, right? I want you to feel this across the back of your shoulder. All about that isolation. Today is small muscles, which is why we have the heavier dumbbells, and we'll just crank out some bis and tris at the end. 1 more. And then that arm comes down by your side. Inside arm is just there holding that resistance. And then small lift away and release. Small lift. All right, so now you can get a little bit farther away, but again, neck stays relaxed. That is your key here. You're starting to feel the neck. You're making it smaller. You're keeping that band in as close to you as you can. So if I turn this way, you can actually see that my band is touching me. It's touching me, it's touching me. Get into the shoulders a little bit, into that supraspinatus. 1 more. Elbow rotates outward and release. Outward. And release. Again, same thing, slower on the release than you did on the way out. Keep your wrist straight. This inside hand is just holding the band to give you that constant resistance. Make sure nothing slips. It also gives a little shoulder stability in here. If you need more tension, you can always pull it in more. You can also stand on 1 leg. All right, last one. And then the arm goes out in front. All right, when you're ready, small pull across. And release. Again, stay focused, neck relaxed. These are all part of awesome arms, I know. I know, some days we just do biceps and triceps, some days we do other stuff. This is one of those other stuff. Think about the wrist, nice and straight. 2 more. And then arm comes down in front of you. You might want to give yourself a little bit more slack, and then a small lift out to your side and release. Out to your side and release. Two more. The band is touching you, and then release. Strip it out. All right, grab your dumbbells, the heavier ones. Oh, skull crushers. Oh, so laying on the mat, arms up toward the ceiling, shoulder blades are down. Angle your arms a little bit toward the top of your head, and then slowly bend your elbows, and then straighten the elbows. Slowly bend the elbows, straighten. I want you to have enough weight on here that you get a little bit more tired than usual, so maybe a little bit more weight than usual. It's only 5 pounds for me, but that's more than my elbow has been doing, so I'm excited. It feels good right now. We'll find out on biceps how it feels. All right, so as long as you're keeping good form and technique, we got 10 more. You start to get sloppy, slow down. You won't get in the full 10. Think that's 10? Oh, my counting. I had other things to focus on. All right, bicep curls. So you can do them sitting, you can do them standing, up, and then again, slower on the way down. Change the angle. Slower on the way down. So what happens if you turn your palms out? My elbow doesn't like that. I'm going to keep my palms up. You can keep yours down if you want to. But I want you to mix the angle up each rep. Make it a little different than the previous one. It's okay if you alternate between 2, which I think is what I'm going to end up doing. So those elbows can be in at your side, or they can be slightly in front. Your choice here. All right, as long as your form is good. 10 more. Working on endurance as well. One or two more. Ooh, I think that's enough for my elbow. Oh, take those arms back and behind, open up, thumbs up, fingertips point back. That's a nice little stretch for my arm. It felt good today. I'm excited. Bring those arms across, give yourself a giant hug, let your chin drop toward your chest. And I thank you for being here today. I will see you next time.